Hi, and welcome to English-Fabule. Are you learning English? Great. Let's learn English with a very interesting story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Let's get started.
A big problem started in the Middle East. It is a new time of trouble in that part of the world. Two countries are fighting. These countries are Israel and Iran. The fighting became very serious. Israel and Iran attacked each other from the air. Planes and rockets were used. This fighting is new and important. The United States of America saw this fight. The United States decided to help one country. The United States decided to help Israel. The leader of the United States is President Donald Trump. President Donald Trump is real. He said the United States will stand with Israel. He said the United States is Israel's friend. To help Israel, the United States sent military power. The U.S. government decided to send more defense systems to the Middle East. These systems help stop rockets and attacks. Mr. Pete Hegseth is the U.S. Defense Secretary. He works for President Trump. Mr. Hegseth said that new defense things were sent. This helps protect the region and U.S. soldiers there. The United States also sent big planes. These planes help U.S. fighter jets fly farther. A large ship also moved closer to the area. America wants to help protect Israel. America also wants to protect its own military people in the Middle East. The United States is helping Israel stop attacks. The United States does not want to fight Iran directly, but it is ready to defend itself and its friends. President Trump has spoken about the fight. He said Israel's actions were good. He said the United States knew about Israel's plans. He warned Iran. He said Iran must not get a nuclear weapon. This story will tell you more about this big fight. It will explain why Israel and Iran are fighting now. It will tell you exactly what America did to help Israel. You will learn what President Trump and other leaders said. You will read about the things that happened day by day. This is a difficult situation. It is important to understand what is happening in the Middle East. This story will help you learn about this time. 2. Israel attacks Iran. The relationship between Israel and Iran has been filled with difficulties for many, many years. There was a long history of tension and mistrust between the two countries. For a long time, Israel felt very concerned about Iran's plans and activities. One of the biggest worries for Israel was Iran's work on nuclear materials. Israel strongly believed that Iran was secretly trying to build nuclear weapons. These are extremely powerful and dangerous bombs, much stronger than regular weapons. Israel saw Iran's efforts to get nuclear weapons as a direct and very serious threat to the safety and existence of their country. They were afraid that if Iran got these bombs, it could use them to cause great harm to Israel. Israeli leaders also received important information that made them believe Iran was planning to attack Israel very soon. They thought an attack, similar to one that had hurt Israel in the past, might happen quickly and unexpectedly. Because of these two major fears, the fear of secret nuclear bombs and the fear of an imminent attack, Israel made a difficult and big decision. They decided they could not wait any longer. They believed the only way to protect their country and their people was to take action first. This meant attacking Iran before Iran could attack Israel or finish building the feared nuclear weapons. So, Israel prepared for a major military action. On June 12, in the year 2025, Israel launched its attack. It was a large airstrike involving many Israeli airplanes. The planes flew to Iran and bombed several important places. These places were chosen very carefully because they were considered key parts of Iran's military power and its secret programs. The targets included sites that were directly connected to Iran's nuclear work. Israel believed these were places where Iran was developing the secret bombs. They also attacked important military locations, hitting bases, command centers, and places where Iran kept its powerful missiles. Israel called this attack a preemptive strike, meaning they attacked first to prevent a future, bigger threat. After the attack happened, the leader of Israel, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, spoke to the public and to the world. He explained the reasons for Israel's action. He said very clearly that the attack targeted Iran's nuclear facilities and important missile sites. He confirmed that the strikes were specifically aimed at stopping Iran from developing nuclear weapons. He also mentioned that the attack had successfully killed several high-ranking Iranian military commanders. Prime Minister Netanyahu stated that Israel's main goal was to prevent Iran from getting nuclear capability and to protect Israel from Iran's dangerous plans. He described the operation as a necessary step and called it successful. Israel believed that this bold step on June 12th was absolutely essential for their security and future safety. The attack marked a very important and critical moment in the ongoing conflict between Israel and Iran. The world watched anxiously to see how Iran would respond to this direct strike on its territory. The situation in the Middle East became much more tense and dangerous after this day. 3. Iran fights back. After Israel attacked, Iran quickly answered back with force. It was a strong response from Iran meant to hit Israel back. On June 13th, Iran sent a very large number of weapons towards Israel. These weapons were hundreds of missiles and drones. Drones are like small flying robots that can carry bombs. Missiles are fast rockets that fly far and are hard to stop. These hundreds of weapons flew across the distance from Iran to Israel. They were aimed at important places and cities like Tel Aviv. When the weapons came close to Israel, loud sounds started. These were air raid sirens. They gave a warning to people. People quickly had to go inside and find safe places, like shelters or strong rooms, to protect themselves. The United States was ready and helped Israel. American soldiers were already in the area with special defense systems. These systems are designed to shoot down incoming rockets and missiles before they can hit the ground. They are named Patriot and THAAD. They work like a big shield high up in the sky. When the hundreds of missiles and drones from Iran came, the American systems worked together with Israel's own defense systems. Together, they tried very hard to stop all the incoming weapons. They were able to stop many of the Iranian missiles and drones in the air. This action by the American military helped protect many people and buildings in Israel from being hit or destroyed. But still, it was a dangerous attack, and not all the weapons were stopped. Some missiles did get through the defenses and reach their targets in Israel. This caused damage to places where they landed. More sadly, the fighting brought injury and death to people on both sides. News came that many people were hurt or killed because of the attacks. Officials in Iran said that over 200 people died in their country. Most of these people were not soldiers. They were ordinary men, women, and children living in cities. In Israel, people were also hurt and killed. Officials in Israel said about 24 people died because of the attacks from Iran. It was a time of great sadness for many families in both countries who lost loved ones or saw them hurt. The fighting did not stop after just one big attack from Iran. For several days after June 13th, Iran continued to launch smaller attacks, sending more missiles towards Israel. Israel also continued its own attacks on targets in Iran. The situation remained very dangerous, and there was fear that the fighting could get much bigger. People around the world watched the events with worry. The United States government stayed close to Israel, offering help. President Donald Trump was the leader of the United States during this time. His government continued to support Israel with defense help and worked to protect American soldiers who were already in the Middle East region. The continued fighting showed how serious the problems were between Iran and Israel and the dangers they created. 4. America helps Israel. America decided to send more help to the Middle East. This happened after Israel and Iran began fighting each other. The government of the United States, led by President Donald Trump, wanted to show strong support for Israel. They also wanted to make sure American soldiers already in the region were safe. On Monday, June 16th, a man named Pete Hegseth made an important announcement. He is the U.S. Defense Secretary. He told people that he had given orders for more military power to go to the Middle East area. Secretary Hegseth said this new help was for defense. It was to make the U.S. military's position stronger and safer in the region. He clearly stated that protecting U.S. forces was the top priority. The United States sent several different types of military assets. They sent many large planes called tanker aircraft. More than 30 of these tanker planes, like the KC-135 and KC-146, were sent eastward. These planes are important because they can refuel fighter jets and other aircraft in the air. This means U.S. planes can stay in the sky longer and fly further across the region. The U.S. also deployed a very large ship. This ship is an aircraft carrier named the USS Nimitz. Moving a large carrier like the Nimitz towards the Middle East is a big action. Aircraft carriers are like moving airports for military planes. These movements of planes and the large ship were significant signals. The United States military already had many soldiers and equipment in the Middle East before these new deployments. There were thousands of troops, along with warships, fighter jets, and missile defense systems. Some of these systems, like the Patriot and THAAD batteries, were already working to protect Israel. They helped to shoot down some of the missiles and drones that Iran fired at Israel. America is helping Israel by providing defense. The U.S. wants to protect Israel from being hit by Iranian attacks. But the U.S. government is trying carefully to avoid fighting Iran directly. The U.S. provides help for defense, like shooting down missiles aimed at Israel. But it is not launching attacks on Iran from U.S. forces. The main goals are to help Israel with its defense and to protect American soldiers and military bases in the Middle East. U.S. officials have said that American forces would only start offensive actions, meaning attacking Iran directly, if Iran attacks U.S. soldiers or property first. President Donald Trump has shown strong support for Israel. Sending more military help is one way to show this support. It also makes the U.S. military more ready for anything that might happen. The U.S. wants to prevent the fighting from getting worse. America's actions show it is a reliable partner for Israel and is taking steps to manage the dangerous situation in the Middle East. 5. The President speaks. President Donald Trump spoke often about the fighting between Israel and Iran. He talked to the news and used social media like Twitter. He showed very strong support for Israel. On the day after Iran attacked Israel, President Trump spoke. He said the United States is Israel's #1 ally by far. President Trump said Israel's first attacks on Iran were excellent and very successful. He said America knew about Israel's plans before they happened. "Heads up, we knew everything," he said to one news channel. He trusted Israel's information and its actions. President Trump also sent strong warnings to Iran. He warned Iran about making nuclear weapons. He posted on social media that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. On another day, he wrote that people in Tehran should evacuate the city because of the threat. President Trump also talked about making peace through talks. He said Iran should agree to a strict deal with America. He said talks could still happen even while the fighting continued. However, not all U.S. leaders said the same things as the president. For example, Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the U.S. was not involved in Israel's first attack. This was different from President Trump saying the U.S. knew everything. Other important people in the U.S. government also had different views. Vice President J.D. Vance said America should try hard not to go to war with Iran. The Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, said she did not believe Iran was actively building a nuclear bomb at that time. These opinions showed that not everyone in the U.S. government fully agreed with the president's public message. Iran was very angry about President Trump's words and America's actions helping Israel. Iran's foreign minister said if President Trump was serious about wanting peace talks, he should pressure Israel to stop fighting. He warned that Iran would keep fighting back if Israel did not stop. Iran saw the United States as the main country supporting Israel and said America was also responsible for the fighting. President Trump said America would protect its soldiers in the Middle East. He also said the U.S. might fight if its forces were attacked by Iran. He noted that American soldiers were already helping Israel by shooting down Iranian missiles. People who study world events watched President Trump closely. They thought he wanted to give strong support to Israel. They also believed he wanted to avoid a big, long war for America. They thought he might use the situation to push Iran into a deal about its nuclear program. President Trump seemed to want Israel to feel safe and secure first. He was not likely to tell Israel to stop its actions until Israel felt its security needs were met. The U.S. showed its support not only with words from the president, but also by sending more military ships and planes to the region. This sent a strong message to everyone that America was standing with Israel. President Trump's message was clear: strong support for Israel and direct warnings for Iran. But the situation was dangerous and difficult, and there were different ideas about the best path forward even inside the American government. 6. Friends for a long time. America and Israel have been friends for many, many years. This friendship is strong. It is especially strong in military matters. The United States helps Israel with defense. America has given Israel a lot of help, like money and weapons. This help started long ago. In the past, the U.S. agreed to give Israel a large amount of money for defense. This was $38 billion over 10 years. This money helped Israel buy important defense systems and weapons. America also helped Israel get advanced fighter jets like the F-35 planes. The two countries work together on missile defense. They have programs like the Arrow system. These systems help Israel stop rockets and missiles that come from other places. This cooperation helps keep people in Israel safe. President Donald Trump has always shown very strong support for Israel. During his first time as president, from 2017 to 2021, he made several big decisions that helped Israel. He officially said that Jerusalem is the capital city of Israel. Then he moved the American embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. This was a very important step for Israel. President Trump also said that the Golan Heights, an area near Syria, belongs to Israel. And he took America out of the Iran nuclear deal. This meant new rules and problems for Iran. These actions showed the world that President Trump was a strong supporter of Israel. Now, President Trump is president again in 2025. His strong support for Israel continues. He often talks about protecting both America and its friends from dangers like missiles. In May 2025, just before the recent fighting started, President Trump talked about a new big plan. It is called the Golden Dome program. This plan is about building a better missile defense system for America. When he talked about the Golden Dome, President Trump showed a picture of Israel's Arrow 3 missile defense system. He said that Israel uses this system well to stop missiles. This shows that America looks at Israel's defense work and maybe learns from it or works with them. American ships and soldiers have been in the Middle East area for many years. This shows America's promise to help defend Israel and keep the region safe. The help America gives Israel now, during the fighting, is part of this long history. It is a history of close friendship and working together for defense. The United States wants Israel to be safe and strong. The American government and military work closely with Israel's leaders and military. They share information and practice together. This long friendship is very important. It helps explain why America is helping Israel now in this difficult time. President Trump has said many times that America is Israel's #1 friend and ally. The military help, the money, and working together on defense technology are clear signs of this strong and long friendship. It shows the promise America has made to Israel. 7. What happened day by day? This story tells you what happened day by day in the week when the fighting started. On Thursday, June the 12th, a big thing happened. Israel attacked places in Iran. They used planes for the attack. Israel said they did this to stop Iran from getting nuclear weapons. In America, President Trump and his helpers knew about Israel's plan before it happened. Then, on Friday, June the 13th, Iran fought back. They sent many missiles and drones. These flew towards Israel. Alarms sounded in cities like Tel Aviv. America helped Israel on this day. American soldiers used special defense systems. These systems shot down many of the missiles and drones before they could hit Israel. President Trump talked about this. He said Israel's attack was good. He also said America knew everything about it. He said American forces helped protect Israel. On Saturday and Sunday, June the 14th and 15th, the fighting did not stop. Israel continued to attack some places in Iran. Iran also sent more missiles, but fewer this time. Sadly, more people were hurt or died in both countries. Most of the people who died in Iran were not soldiers. Countries around the world started to get worried. Leaders from other nations asked for the fighting to stop. They called for peace. President Trump met with his main advisors in Washington to talk about the situation. On Monday, June the 16th, America sent more help to the Middle East. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said that more defense systems were going to the region. He said this was important to keep American soldiers safe. News reports said that many large planes, like ones that help other planes fly far, were sent. A very large ship, the USS Nimitz, also moved closer. President Trump, who was at a meeting with other world leaders called the G7, spoke. He warned Iran. He said Iran must never have a nuclear bomb. The leaders from the G7 countries also asked the countries to stop fighting so much. On Tuesday, June the 17th, the G7 leaders made another statement. They said Israel had the right to protect itself. They also said that Iran was making things dangerous in the area. President Trump wrote a message online. He told everyone in Tehran, which is the capital city of Iran, that they should leave. Iran still sent some small attacks. The extra American military help that was announced on Monday was getting ready. This week showed how quickly the situation changed, day by day, from the first attack to more countries getting involved and military help arriving. 8. What this means. The United States government showed strong friendship for Israel during the recent fighting. President Donald Trump said many times that America stands with Israel. He called the U.S. Israel's #1 friend, by far. This support was shown with words and with actions, and it happened very quickly after the fighting started. The U.S. military sent more help to the Middle East region. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth announced that more defensive tools were sent there. For example, the U.S. sent special planes that help other planes fly longer distances. These are called tanker aircraft. More than 30 of these large planes moved towards the area. The big ship, the USS Nimitz, which carries many planes, also moved closer to the Middle East. America already had many soldiers and military tools there, like Patriot and THAAD missile systems. These systems are used to shoot down rockets and missiles. American soldiers used these systems to help Israel stop rockets coming from Iran. All these steps were taken to help protect Israel from attacks. But they were also very important to keep American soldiers and other American people in the region safe. President Trump and his team said many times that keeping Americans safe is the most important thing. They said the U.S. would only start attacking Iran if Iran first attacked American people or places. So, the U.S. moves were mainly to defend and protect, not to start a bigger war with Iran. President Trump also made it very clear what he wanted from Iran. He spoke strongly and directly. He told Iran they must not make nuclear weapons. He warned Iran and said they should stop their bad plans. President Trump said that Israel's attacks on Iran were good and worked very successful. He used strong words on social media and in talks to tell Iran to be careful and to stop. He also said he was open to talking with Iran again, but only if they agreed to his terms about nuclear weapons. This time of fighting and U.S. help for Israel is important for several reasons. It shows how close the United States and Israel are as friends. It shows that President Trump strongly supports Israel, perhaps more than some presidents before him. It also shows that the U.S. is ready to act quickly when its friends and its own people might be in danger. But what happens next in this story is not certain. Will Iran stop fighting after seeing the U.S. support for Israel? Will the U.S. help be enough to keep the peace in the Middle East? Will the fighting get bigger and more dangerous, bringing more countries into the conflict? The future is not clear. Will countries find a way to talk and stop the violence before more people are hurt? Or will the fighting continue, making things worse? This situation makes many people around the world worry about what might happen next. The decisions made by leaders like President Trump and the leaders in Israel and Iran will shape the future for many people in the region and perhaps the whole world. This story shows how complicated the world is when countries have big disagreements. There are no easy answers when countries fight. Everyone hopes for a time when people can live in peace and safety. What do you think is the most important thing the U.S. government should do now?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.